right, doors have been closed. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Week 2 Gold Caps presented by Get Wrecked. We have Reign of Kings versus Spawn Point here. I'm Crims, joined by my co-caster, What to Britty.
And on the blue side today, we've got Reign of Kings with Chichiko KC on the top lane on the Jace, Thithani on the Trundle in the jungle, and Pagans in the mid lane on that Orianna, and Patchatory and Captain Whiff rounding out the bot lane with that Lucian Braum combo.
And for Spawn Point, I'm hopefully going to get this before they invade. We have Pillars on the top lane on Ord, Tiger Roosh as Xin in the jungle, Kamatsi as the mid lane on Syndra, Abigor on Ashe, and Rosebuds as support on the Zyra. And I made it in time, What to Britty. That was close.
Just in time. We do see Reign of Kings looking for a pretty early invade. It was spotted out by Rosebuds, so I don't think they're going to be getting too much out of this. Maybe just a little bit of gold given over to Rosebuds on that support item. Maybe a mana flow stack on Ashe if they're running that rune, but nothing too big.
Yeah, and Xin does have the sweeper, so he's going to go ahead and try to get those sweeps. I really do like when the mid laner picks up the ward kills there, get the level 2 early. But something that I personally think is for Spawn Point, Pillars probably should have walked over and put a ward on blue. Otherwise, I don't think they would know that the Thani is starting topside right now.
Yeah, especially if Captain Whiff and Patchatory here decide to do the fake leash bottom lane, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to have that information. They may be running in a little bit blind, which means maybe Tithani can get an invade on that topside red buff, even with the ward that was placed down there. Might be able to sneak in, take it away, maybe even fight Xin Zhao in those early levels with that press the attack.
Yeah, certainly Trundle level 3 is a menace to other auto-attacking junglers, Xin included there. I think that they might be looking for a cheeky gank instead. Trundle's, he's got a knock-up and a slow on his pillar, so nothing to scoff at. I know it's not a stun, but it's definitely pretty good still.
Yeah, the pillar definitely hurts, but important to note, Tigrerouge did not use his sweeper, so they had full vision of the Xin Zhao on that blue buff. They know that he passed towards Gromp and then back over to his wolves, so they should know exactly what his clear is going to be for this game.
Yeah, it looks like the Zin's doing a full clear, not something you would typically see with a early prio jungler speed ganker. Trundle skipping the wolves, so actually going to have a gank opportunity first. Now these do come at the cost of the wolves, but we'll see where he goes. I think we're going to be looking for the Thani, see what play he goes for here, and it is bot side. We will see if Spawn Point is ready for this. Otherwise, I think they are going to be unawares.
Yeah, I think especially given the push power that Zyra and Ashe have, how much low mobility they are, looks like the Thandi is going to be setting up for the jungle. Good flash in by Captain with Patchatory looking for the combo onto Abigor. Abigor is going to go down. Patchatory flashes away, doesn't end up getting killed. Rosebud's going to land that stun to press the attack proc, and a double kill. Getting over to the Thandi in the early game. A great start for him.
Yeah, just a tiny bit of minus points, like 0.5, not giving it to Patchatory there, especially on something like Lucian where you want him to get ahead early, but that's going to be good enough to secure an early lead close to 1,000 gold as well. And I think we pretty much documented that case pretty well as to why that happened. Xin ganking on the top side though.
Tigrerouge looking for his way in. Chico KC has the knockback, lands the wind, becomes lightning, but doesn't have his dash to follow up. And even with no mana, Chico is just going to be able to walk out of there.
Yeah. So I think this is a pretty textbook case of getting wards on the other side. If you know their path, you can predict where they're going to gank, and that definitely will help you in the early game here. So a bit of a mistake from Spawn Point, not getting those wards on the side, not trying to figure out the path of your enemy jungler.
Yeah, definitely a bit of an information gap. I think Thithani was just able to free clear his jungle. Spawn Point definitely did not know where he was going to path, as opposed to Reign of Kings, who had full information on the Xin Zhao on the blue side of his map. And especially with an immobile pushing lane like Ashe's Zyra, you really have to be careful that the jungler doesn't just get to walk in on you for free.
Yeah, and Braum is another thing to point is Braum's very strong in the early game with his stun. It will do unexpected amounts of damage if you're not ready for it, as well as you think, you got to hit 4 times to get that stun. It goes a lot faster than you think, especially with Lucian.
Especially with Lucian and especially with Trundle. Pillars looking for a heavy trade up here in the top side. Gets the extra bit of knockback onto Chichio, but doesn't get anything too much. Just a bit of a health bar trade.
Yeah, it looks like actually that the Thani might be getting to top before Tigrerouge here, as it looks like he's going for a bottom gank. I do think he needs to get up to the top side, make sure his Ornn doesn't get ganked.
Forcing the flash away from Chichio. Jeez.
Yeah, this is not how this matchup's supposed to go. And this is a fully stacked wave, maybe about 2.5 waves there. So Chioki looks like he's going to pick it up, but I think that could have been a possible deny opportunity if Zin was there earlier.
Yeah, definitely a big loss for the Jace in the early game. He does have the tier, and he is starting to get that stacked up, but it's going to be a while before he hits that Manamune power spike, which means
Mhm.
Ornn is going to have a bit more of a free time in this lane than he normally would.
Yeah, you think that Jace is a carry, so you think, oh, he should be able to all in on the tank, but that is not how that matchup goes at all. Jace actually wants to do the poke and harass game, something similar to a Kennen, and that's how you win and dominate the lane here. So he's got a mix of both, right? He's got the poke, but he also has a little bit of all in, and that's the combination is what lets you win the lane there. So
Yeah, the
letting a
hammer
huge
farm
wave,
all in.
yeah, yeah, and letting that huge wave stack on you does not bode well for that matchup.
Yeah, I do really like the itemization from Pillars already immediately opting into the plated steel caps. He's got Thethani on the Trundle on the top side along with a Jace to go up against, so he's going to be taking a lot of auto attacks over the course of this game. I think it's a good first buy. And in the meantime, looks like Spawn Point are going to have the priority on the Dragon with that pushing power in the bot lane.
Yeah, Abigor and Rosebuds, even though they did die, both of them, they still have better pushing power than the Braum Lucian. Zyra way better pushing power than Braum, so that's where that would come from. And of course, they can harass a melee support all day long. So they're going to give over the dragon. I think maybe the Thani should have looked for a play on the top side, especially to help out the
And
solution.
Tiggerouche maybe in trouble. Thethani gets the bite down onto him. There's the press the attack.
Teleport coming in.
Good stun, but a great command shockwave to keep Kamanzi back. Thethani chasing him down. Here comes the Unleashed Power to proc the phase rush. He gets the Blast Plant away, but Thethani is still chasing down. Maybe looking to get under the tier 2 tower, but they are just going to be able to walk away. Great little trade of summoner spells.
That was close. And unfortunately, another trade here. Unfortunately for the Thani, that pillar cooldown is pretty lengthy.
Yeah, without maxing in the early game, like maybe a support Trundle would do. You're going to have a bit of time between each pillar you've got. And Phase Rush, a heck of a rune, which means Kamanzi is going to be able to just walk out of there.
Yeah, I think maybe saving, it's kind of difficult. Do you save the pillar? Do you use it early? That's the kind of decisions that come on Trundle. Maybe saving it later would have ended with the kill, but maybe you wouldn't have threatened the kill in the first place. Tough decisions here on the Trundle. And for me, I think I don't actually max out my Q on Trundle. I start because to me in the mid game the pillar becomes so valuable. It's so strong, the slow is so massive, and it blocks off an area that they would like to go through, possibly a choke. I start maxing a little earlier than maybe around level 3 bite. That's when I start going for the pillar again. So we'll see if the Thani agrees with me or disagrees.
Yeah, in the meantime, we are seeing across the map pretty even in CS overall, even with the gank that happened in the bottom lane, the double kill that the Thani was able to pick up. Still a marginal CS lead for Abigor on this Ashe, really showing the power of the Ashe-Zyra combination. So much poke and so much pressure in this lane. For it to even out, I think the Thani is going to have to make another trip down here.
Oh, something we haven't talked about yet. This is the new Lucian, correct? So this is the one that operates better with the buffs rather than just non-buffed Lucian. Another gank coming in, though.
Thani looking for his way in. Abigor does have that level 6, has the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Good pillar to slow them both
Teleport.
down. Comes the Subjugate. Teleport coming in for Kamanzi, going to put the pressure down to the Pachatory, who immediately flashes away. And a great Enchanted Crystal Arrow onto the Thani means the red buff is going to be given over to the Ashe. That's a great little use of the giving the kill over to the right target there. And in the meantime, Pachatory is just going to throw down the Culling, get some extra damage onto Kamanzi. Meantime, also up here in the top lane. Tiggerouche, we're here with the Call of the Forge God. A great knockback from Chico, but it is just going to be him taken down. The dive on the bottom side. Pachatory gets immediately blown up by the Unleashed Power. And now Captain with the kill is going to be given over to Rosebuds. With the Ignite, he is going to be able to trade back. The red buff taken away from Abigor. Definitely not the cleanest dive, but they get something out of it at the very least.
Yeah, Pagans does pick up 2 turret plates on the backside of that whole play, but kind of questionable if it's worth it. I guess Pagans has to carry the game from this point on, as a lot of
Pagans looking for a trade, low on mana, maybe not enough for the command shockwave.
Phase rush saves the day.
Kamanzi's phase rush just going to allow him to walk out of there. No mana, no cooldowns. Pagans just putting in a little bit of harass, making sure Kamanzi misses as much CS as possible.
All right, there's a lot to dial in there. So this Lucian, although was off to a great start, is now falling behind this Ashe. Something you don't want to see, especially from Pachatory here. Wants to get that early lead. Then the same can be said for Chechioke at the top side with this Jace. So handing over the blue, that's nice. Great Great jungler right there. But I think they're ignoring a lane that they really shouldn't, and that is the top lane Jace. You really want to make sure Jace gets ahead. That's where most of his power lies. And then that's when you can start landing amazing Qs from long distance, poking out the Ashe. You know, they don't have any heal on the side of spawn point here, so that'd be amazing right before a dragon, but they're kind of just letting this Jace fall to the wayside here.
Yeah, Jace is really not ending up far ahead. But like we were talking about earlier with this bottom lane combo, this is the changed Lucian where his W now applies the Vigilance proc. Whenever Lucian gets enchanted, sped up, shielded, buffed in any sort of way, he gets a little bit of extra magic damage on hit on his auto attack, similar to an item like Wit's End. We're gonna have to put a pause on that as the Nathaniel's looking for the engage here.
No
Great
flash on
command shock wave
dude.
commands. He doesn't have his flash. Both of them just proccing phase rush and just being able to walk out of there. That rune is so good for these immobile mages.
I think they could have gotten the kill there, but I think the CC order and what happened there let Kamatsu get the phase rush to get out of there in time. I think they maybe could have changed up the order or the timing, and they probably would have got that kill as Kamatsu didn't have flash.
Yeah, it was good movement and from Kamansi as well as getting the push back onto Trundle, not allowing him to get the slow from that bite and not be as in range for a perfect pillar. But now we see both junglers setting up on the bottom side, maybe looking to make a play happen. Captain with going onto Rosebud's a great chain of Crystal Arrow is going to keep Pachatory out of this fight. In the meantime, Tigger Rooch is just going to be tanking up on the front side. The Fanny here looking a little low. Great stun into two. Pagans now in trouble, flashing away, but Tigger Rooch has the follow-up. Kill given over to Rosebuds and Pillars is teleported in. Call of the Forge God goes out, but I don't think it's going to get very much.
Oh, it's close.
So he's flashing in. He's looking for the kills. A Captain Whiff here. Little bit of billowed breath. It means he is going to be taken out, and that bot tower is super low, so he is just going to be able to pick that up along with Spawn Point, picking up their second dragon of the game, taking us into the Infernal Rift.
Yeah, series of plays there working in the favor of Spawn Point. I have to say that it wasn't, you know, if you're not paying attention for the ultimate from Tigger Roosh there, you would think, that was pretty good. Actually, that was an amazing ultimate. Splits up the team and sets it into two groups that they pincer and take out there when Kamatsu came to flank, and that just sealed the deal in that team fight.
Yeah,
So,
it threw
so far,
Pagans
that was
and Nathani into the waiting arms of Kamansi, along with blocking a lot of damage from the calling. Really well played from him. Great presence of mind to use that ulti.
Yeah, I think maybe Braum could have been a little faster on the trigger finger for his own ulti to prevent the engage, as Braum is really good at that. However, it's hard to say because there was just a lot of firepower coming through with the Ashe ultimate and the Zyra. Maybe he wasn't able to get it out in time or didn't recognize that that was going to be what was required to save his team.
Yeah, we do also have to say Abigor somehow finding Pachatory in that fight and keeping him out of it just that little bit longer. But in the meantime, Rosebud's maybe in a bit of trouble. Good. He's just going to be shut down. The kill given over to Jace. But he's going to be picking the Ignite plus the plants, taking out Chachiyoki. Just means he's going to be blown up. Now Pachatory forced to dash over the wall. Dodges the wind becomes lightning. And yeah, Reign of Kings definitely on the back foot in this game. Spawn Point allowing themselves to be in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I think this is kind of a sad game for Chachi. Is it Chachiyoki or Chachioke? Oh,
We'll
as
call
we
him
have Abigor getting
Chachiyoki.
bit by a rabid troll here. Looks like they're gonna have a fight up.
Pillars going in onto Pagans. The command shockwaves comes through. He doesn't have the unstoppable. Even without minimal magic resist, Pagans just does not deal a ton of damage to this Ornn. Now Ornn maybe a bit on the back foot, choosing to walk away. Teleport being burned from Chachiyoki. He is just gonna be forced off by the Cinder there.
Yeah.
Pillars gets another knock up. The Billow's Breath. He's going in onto Pagans. Pagans has the speed up for himself. Phase Rush, I don't think is active for him just yet. But in the meantime, there's an engage on the top side. Tigger Roosh looking for the way in onto Captain Whiff. A great stun. Actually misses the stun, just gets the knockback. Pillars looking for the kill. Pagans is walking away with a sliver of HP and he dodges the call of the Forge God. Pillars now super low, but he gets the pillar down and takes Pagans out. Pagans a little bit too greedy there. Fanny maybe in trouble. Tigger Roosh. Kamansi forcing the flash away from Pachatory, missing the stun. Chachiyoki looking for his way in, gets the full combo. The calling down, that's a Tigger Roosh. Looking for their way into this fight. They're looking for any way that they can get the engage here. They know that they're out of position, but Rosebud with a huge plant storm just takes them all out. Abigor with the follow-up and now gets the slow onto Pachatory, who has no flash, no heal. He is going to be taken out by Kamansi. A great turnaround from Spawn Point.
Man, I think Reign of Kings keeps running into these choke points and challenging Rosebuds and Abigor. And I think we all have to agree that that is their domain. If you walk into a choke point, Rosebud just throws down the ultimate, throws down the plants. You can't get through, does tons of damage. Abigor just slows you if you try to run away. and it's a winning combination for these choke point team fights right now.
Yeah, champions like Syndra, like Ashe, like Zyra, even like Ornn just absolutely love these choke points. They really want to take advantage of these small corridors where you can't dodge these large AoE skill shots. Orianna likes them too. Braum kind of likes them, but it's just not the same power level that these spawn points champions have.
Yeah, the troll Trundle also enjoys it. If you get a nice knock on slow, they can't get out very easily. But I think the key point is they're running into the choke points, and Spawn Point is throwing their abilities at the choke point. So I think that's a key difference here. As I thought Ornn was almost just going to walk through that wall. Looked pretty close.
For the cheeky knock-up, Kamanzi gets the stun. Captain Whiff is here for the defense, though, so there isn't going to be engage. Dragon's coming up in a minute, so Spawn Point is just looking for their way to control the pit right now. Call of the Forge God, the Enchanted Crystal Arrow lands onto Captain Whiff, uses that brittle passive, a good knock-up onto Pachatory as well. Great Shock Blast, but Abigor is going to be picking up the kill on Pachatory. Great wall from Braum means he's not going to die to the Unleashed Power, but that is going to be one taken out from Reign of Kings. A great stun onto Chachiyoki means he is going to go down. Good Glacial Fissure is going to knock up Tiger Rouge, but that's about it. Now Spawn Points are going to be taking this first tower, and then I would assume rotating just over to this free dragon, getting themselves this whole point.
Yeah, they're definitely going to get a free dragon after that. And I think that they're not playing to the strengths of Jace. I know he's a bit behind. Abigor maybe playing it a little too cheeky there. Yeah, you definitely want to get your poke down first with the Jace. He's got the longer range. He's got the higher damage output at that range as well. And they're just letting him walk through to the turret in a dangerous area. Gets caught out early. Definitely not enough space made.
Set up from Spawn Points. They see Pachatory. They want to pick him out, but Pachatory reading the play is just going to play a little bit more passive until his support arrives.
I don't think they know. Rosebud doesn't know that. Okay, Captain Whiff gave it away. I think that was they could have got that kill if they.
Good word from Captain Whiff. He knows that the Zyra is there. They didn't know how much other support they had, and now with all the plants in that bush, just gonna keep
a lot of red bars there.
just keep the Kings away as long as possible. Make sure that dragon gets collected, and now Spawn Point now on the Soul Point, going for looking at almost a 22 minutes full.
Oh,
Pillars gets interrupted by Thethani,
but level difference here. That's huge.
Yeah. This Ornn has just been allowed to free farm and walk around the map wherever he wants to do. The Jace power just not coming through in lane.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't play towards him at all, kind of left him alone, and that's kind of what happens. I do have to say, I think Reign of Kings have finally decided to wisen up to just walking through into these choke areas. Starting to play a little more cautiously, but a little too late as there's a huge lead already established. 7K gold difference.
Yeah, 7,000 gold behind. I think Reign of Kings may have just been expecting, oh yeah, Jace versus Ornn. Jace should just win that matchup handedly because, you know, it's Ornn. What can he do? But then they forget that Ornn is, how do they put it, the Mage, Death Knight, Paladin, Assassin, Tank, Bruiser. He does just a little bit of everything. Very difficult to put him out of lane with that buying passive. Especially just given that he had the biscuits and the Dorn shield in lane, really difficult to force him out and get any sort of advantage over him.
Yeah, the first wave looked nice, or the first, the first few levels looked nice, but definitely, again, it just comes down to that massive wave that wasn't helped. All right, we have the Rift Herald being started up. Finally, 18 minutes here, a little bit late, but better late than never.
Yeah, neither team really putting too much priority on the Rift Herald. Both even the Reign of Kings, or even the Spawn Point side, not putting too much pressure onto that Herald objective. They are just going to pick it up because it's free, and Reign of Kings can't walk over to contest.
Yeah, unfortunately, Reign of Kings doesn't have any pressure, so they can't trade for any turrets as well. So I think they're just going to take this loss here.
Hiller's Call of the Forge, a great wall from Captain Whiff means it's not going to come through. Shock Blast onto Abigor, but it looks like, yeah, Spawn Point is just going to be able to take this tower. I don't think there's a lot.
I don't think they should fight, though. They're not ready.
And looking for his engage, a great subjugate onto pillars. He's going to be super tanky, but a great ulti from Tigger Roosh means that they're not going to be able to get the engage either. Just the disengage from the Ashe and the Xin means that there's no engage point for Reign of Kings.
I mean, the only engage they do have is the Trundle Pillar, which, by the way, is very good on, low mobility champions, right? So the Syndra, the Ashe, the Zyra. But there's no good follow-up. So it seems like to them, the Braum ultimate was not what they were looking for. They probably should have drafted Leon if they want to go for something like that.
Great killer onto Kamanzi. Command Shockwave misses. Kamanzi's not going to go down just yet. Shutdown goal given over to Pagans, but he did have to use his flash to get it. Enchanted Crystal Arrow, Thethani does sidestep it. Looks like Captain Whiff is going to catch it. But yeah, no re-engage, but a good one-for-one trade. I think that's kind of the trade that Reign of Kings needs right now, just picking up that sort of shutdown gold and looking for any kind of way they can scrape themselves back into the game.
Yeah, I think funny thing to point out here, I think both teams really wanted the Ornn for their team comps, but unfortunately Spawn Point got their pick and Reigning Kings doesn't really have a good answer for their comp. I mean, Braum is got a ultimate with a lot of CC in it, but it is a counter engage. And you saw when Braum tried to use it offensively there, kind of just fell flat, while Rosebud uses her ultimate and it disengages the entire team fight. So
Yeah,
you
the
can see they
champions like
both very
champion
similar, right?
Yeah, champions like Ashe, not like Ashe, like Thresh, Nautilus, Pike, Blitzcrank. These primary engaged champions are really, I think, what Reign of Kings might have been looking for, wanting something that can really like point and click start a fight, like even just Karma Mantra E, get everybody sped up and into the fight. It just seems to be the thing that they're lacking here. The Jace a little bit off flavor, and with how far behind he is, it's going to be really difficult for him to have a lot of impact in this game.
Yeah. I think something to point out is this works if they are ahead, right? So because the only reason why we're pointing out as a flaw now is because they're behind. And in that scenario, they don't really have any tools to get back into the game, as we have a Komatsu going for a solo kill, a flash burn.
Great wall from Captain Whiff means that the Ornn Horn is not going to be sounded. That's, I think, the power of this Braum pick into the Ornn. It just means you can deny any engage that he has and look for that counter engage. But with how far ahead spawn points are, they can really just throw the Ornn Horn out kind of willy-nilly. And there's not a lot that Reign of Kings can do to look for the re-engage.
It's a quarter off cooldown already. I mean, Ornn ultimate is not a big cooldown, especially once you get level 2. You could just throw that thing off on cooldown. It will not affect you negatively.
It's like spawn pillar.
Like
spawn points are going to be summoning up a Herald. The Great Pillar is going to be slowed down. I don't think it's going to even get a charge of the tower.
Yeah, they probably should have, pushed a lane up and used it on the lane. I think that spawn point, the reason why this game's slowing down is they're not really playing the side lanes too much. They do have Komatsu on the side lane versus the Jays.
KC is going to be taken out.
Pagans!
Great shockwave from Pagans means that now spawn point is really in trouble. Shutdown gold given over to Captain Whip, and now Tigger Rouge has control of the fight. Heal blown by Pachatory, which is not enough. A huge shockwave from Pagans to start that fight, but Abigor was able to just clean up the rest of it.
I mean, if you don't win that, I don't know what you're going to win.
Yeah, that's rough, because losing that fight also means Spawn Points has the Infernal Soul now. There's no contestation. There's going to be a tower given over in the top side to Kamansi, a tower given over in mid to Abigor, and in the meantime, Tigger Rouge is just able to pick this dragon for free.
Dude, imagine if Reign of Kings had a Aphelios right there. I think maybe with an Aphelios combo, on top of that, you guys have a chance at winning that. Chase hitting his Q at the right time as well. That would have been a win even with this huge deficit, but unfortunately they went with the Lucian there and it's not paying its dividends.
Yeah, we do have to mention that was an incredible fight from Reign of Kings. That may have been the best fight that they could have gotten at the time. A 4-man shockwave from Orianna, and you're still not winning the fight. It just is a testament to how far behind you are in this game and how hard you're going to have to fight to get back into it.
I mean, credit to Pegans for finding that in a massive deficit there and almost brought it back, but that's the word, almost.
Yeah, he's on it. He's a 2-item Orianna. This champion is powerful, and when he hits that third item power
super
spike,
scaling build too. Look, super scaling build as well with the tier item.
This will be the most amount of AP that he can have. If he throws a Rabadon's on top of this, he's got about 700 total ability power, but even with just those 2 items, it's really not enough right now.
Reign King is looking for something cheeky here. They're going to take the Orianna into the Ornn. And
Tigger Rouge. Good stun and good. But the healing from that Gore Drinker is just massive. They do get the shutdown over to Pachatory, but in the meantime, Captain Whiff might be the sacrifice. Flashes away, but still gets knocked up. The Shockwave finds one onto Kamansi, but in the meantime, Roadspot is blowing up the Thani. Kamansi just leads Pachatory. Goodbye, sir. In the meantime, Abigor is picking up a double kill on the bottom side of the map. A great pick onto Tigger Rouge, but my god, Infernal Soul just deletes Pachatory.
Yeah, and that was a 4v5 as well there. So I think we can see Reign of Kings trying to pull the trigger, but they don't have the tools for it again. I mean, you don't have some point and click engage from the Braum. Pachatory doesn't have anything like an Aphelios to provide the utility like an Ashe. They just don't have that go button. And they have to really wait for the enemy to overcommit and then capitalize on that.
Yeah, it was a great pick onto Tigger Rouge, but there's no anti-heal for the Gore Drinker plus Sterak's on the Xin Zhao. He's so tanky with just those 2 items. It's really difficult to take him out quickly enough that you're able to walk away and not be punished for it.
Yeah. I mean, I think they could have walked away. They didn't really opt for it though. I think they had an opportunity as soon as Tigger went down, as we saw that Ornn decided not to teleport up there, which was kind of that was took some guts to not take that teleport, but they won the team fight anyway. I think that's the one thing that would stop them from leaving. And again, it's just this gold lead is too massive. I think that losing a team member like that in the beginning fight would have spelt doom for anything less than maybe a 10k gold deficit as they pick up Baron here. And
yeah, 10,000 gold lead. The Baron now in their pockets. It looks like spawn points are just going to be trying to end it. Ornn handing out those upgraded items, giving Ashe that upgraded Kraken Slayer. And I'm going to test your knowledge as a color caster. Do you know what it's called?
Oh, is this something Color really has to study?
What's in the game? It's a thing to know.
I don't know.
See, looking at flashing engage, Pachatory, a good dash to the side, avoiding that, and the Crystal Arrow, a big shockwave. But again, where's the follow-up? The Baron buff and the Infernal Soul just means that there's no way to get into this spawn points team. It looks like they are just going to be looking to end the game. Oh, Abigor caught out a bit. Doesn't have access to his flash just yet. Living on a sliver of health, but the shutdown does go over to Pagans. Spawn Pillars now pulling out the Forge God. Captain with great presence of mind to knock that one down. Pagan surviving on the backside of the fight. Tithani flashing out and is going to live. Chichiko KC picks up Tigger Roosh. And he is going to survive just barely, but no. Kamansi is going to take him out. Now the remaining 3 members of Spawn Point are looking to end this game. It's a 3-on-3.
The health bars are low, the Spawn Point.
But he's super low. I don't think there's any way for him to...
Kamasi!
For so long! Pagans picks up the kill, but it's a trade kill again. The Nexus is open. Kamansi and Roadspawns are looking to finish this game. Pagans is so low. Captain with giving the healing from the inside the base, but the damage from Rosebuds is massive. Pachatory is back up. The culling gets thrown out. He gets the shutdown onto Kamansi. Picks up Rosebuds as well. A double kill over for him, but the Nexus is open. But the game ain't over yet.
Yeah, the cooldowns were short enough for Pachatory to come back and affect the back end of that team fight. So 6 to 5 members, kind of unfair, wouldn't you say, what's Britty?
Absolutely. Pachatory getting the clutch respawn, which means that Reign of Kings aren't over just yet. The game isn't over until the Nexus falls.
Yeah, credit Pachatory in the beginning of the fight to hunt for that kill on Abigor, knowing that, probably going to die, likelihood of that not working out, but Abigor stepping up way too far when not necessary.
Yeah,
and
way too far. Doesn't have a Thresh Lantern, but good pillar from Tithani.
Yeah, Pachatory taking that opportunity to trade kill. His life is worth way less than Abigor's, so that's worth right there. And I think we can see for that team fight, Reign of Kings had Spawn Point running into them, and we can immediately see it's a lot more doable, even without the Orianna ultimate in the middle. Remember, that was burnt a little early. And you can see here the idea behind the team comp working a lot better. I think that Spawn Point should have just played out the side wave instead of just team fighting and losing their Baron buff here.
Yeah, this is now a 3-item Orianna. Kamansi almost finishing up that death cap. He's going to be sitting on so much ability power. This is just a monster Syndra with the Infernal Soul behind her as well. It's going to be so difficult for Reign of Kings to fight through this.
Yeah, Elder coming up too, and this is not going to bode well for Reign of Kings. If they get a fight out in the open, it's going to be a lot better. We have a pillar coming down.
Gale Force forward. Kamansi maybe in a little bit of trouble with the Unleashed Power. Doesn't immediately blow up Pachatory, but he is forced to flash away. The Chain of Crystal Arrow doesn't find its target. Pillar's looking for his knock-up onto OKC. Captain Whiff does end up defending just a little bit longer. Looks for the burst onto Abigor, doesn't get it. Captain Whiff's Q does not find the target. Could knock away, but Captain Whiff is just the only one standing. And Spawn Points may not even need the Elder Dragon to end this game, as Abigor is looking to walk into the mid lane with that big wave and just finish this game up.
Ornn teleport behind Captain Whiff, the last member standing. Maybe the death timers will be low enough again. There's about 10 seconds for
even through that frog wall. Abigor is just going to finish up this game. A win for Spawn Points, and a decisive one at that.
Yep, and I think unfortunately Reign of Kings didn't have an ideal draft, especially for the way they're trying to play it out there. Lucian not really good, especially without an Enchantress support right now, and not playing towards the Jace, as well as not getting the ideal team fights running into the chokes instead of covering them. And I think that would spell their demise. Spawn Point taking the first game of the day.
Yeah, it is worth mentioning. Lucian Braum used to be that premier combo, that strong bot lane that Lucian was just able to proc that Braum passive so quickly. But now with the extra changes given over to him to make him more reliant on the 2v2, it seems to have weakened the power of Lucian Braum a bit and given him a bit more power touch combos like Lucian Karma, Lucian Lulu, even maybe someone like Lux, just someone who can enchant him a bit more and set him up for more plays.
Yeah, I agree. They definitely changed the champion up entirely. It's taking time for people to adjust. But with that, I think that we're going to start transitioning over to the next game here, and we'll probably be taking an intermission. But overall, I think a first exciting game for the first game of the day. I like to see some more of that.
Yeah, it was a good early game from Reign of Kings. I really liked the aggression that they put into the bot lane, punished Abigor and Rosebuds for pushing up too aggressively. But I think the response from Tigger Roosh to put that pressure towards the top side, make sure Pillars didn't lose lane super hard, make sure that Ornn goes even or even ahead. It just allows them to scale into the late game much harder than Reign of Kings was able to.
Yeah, and I liked Rain King's first gank. That pathing was, I mean, they played it out pretty well, and Spawn Point didn't react at all. Didn't have the wards down, so great start. But maybe generate some better plans towards the mid of the game as well.
Absolutely. I think we are going to throw it to a small intermission for now. I hope you'll all stay and join us for the next game of Goon Gang versus the Rivals.
Hello, everybody, and we're still in week 2 Gold Cap presented by Get Wrecked here. On this game, we have Goon Gang on the red side versus Rivals on the blue side. I'm going to pass it to Brittany for the first team introduction here.
We do have rivals on the blue side. Isurge in the top lane, Eyesight in the jungle, Tall Guy in the mid lane, and Dodge the Q and CB the Barbarian rounding out that bot lane.
All right, and top and on the Mundo, we have Fish or Noah. In the jungle, we have Luke in on Zac. We have in the mid lane Cassiopeia playing, or sorry, Glisk playing Cassiopeia, and we have Anime Nonstop Ezreal with the Zlatsur Leona on the bot side here.
Oh, and it looks like we're
And
gonna have an exciting level 1. Both teams 5v5 passing like ships in the night. Neither team knows where the other one is just yet.
oh, some separation here.
Oh,
for the Moon
Barbarian
Gang.
spots out Anime Nonstop. Anime Nonstop gets hit by the hook, the knock up. Oh, the crowd control combo. He gets the E away, but the flash forward from Isurge means it is going to be first blood given over to them. Luke looking for some kind of re-engage here, but is forced to flash away over the wall, and just a bit of a positioning difference. A great start for the blue side.
Yes. It looks like they're going to have the flash blown on Zac, but not on Anime Nonstop here. So Luke deciding that he'd rather give up flash. Anime Nonstop saying, I'd rather die than give up my flash.
Yeah, he did scale that E level 1, which means his early game is going to be a little bit weaker, but having an E level 1 into Nautilus Samira, not the worst situation that you're going to be in.
Yeah. You know, I wish I could see chat. Maybe there's a possibility they thought it was flash. I would be interested to know if they were confused by it or not. But that being said, if they do know that that is phase shift, they should just hard push, and Ezreal cannot do a single thing about it.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for Ezreal to contest this lane, especially with already the power that Nautilus Samira has just as a combo. I do really like that Dodge the Q has opted to pick up the cleanse into the Leona and the Cassio and the Zac. Just make sure he's able to free fire in these team fights whenever he gets the possibility. But for now, besides that level 1 invade, it looks like it's just going to be a very standard start from both junglers.
Yeah, another important thing to point out here is that top side, Isurge has burnt the flash, and Fisher Noah has the safety in his back of his mind that he still has the flash. We'll see if that was communicated, so knows that Fisher Noah has the flash advantage up there. Oh, engage here by the
looking
Leona.
for the engage. CB Barbarian somehow lands the hook onto Anime Nonstop. Both supports have procced their Aftershock, but now Anime Nonstop looking for the poke back onto the Barbarian. Good stun. CB in a bit of trouble. Has to flash away. A great Zenith Blade means he is going to be picked up. Dodge the Q forced to dash out. I mean, really, somehow, Anime Nonstop and Zlator have come out on top of this bottom lane.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if there's some miscommunication there, because Dodge the Q really wasn't doing any damage and was focusing on farm there, while CB the Barbarian that he is, decides to go in for the kill. And I think that has to be a bit of miscommunication, or maybe an accidental hook, and like, darn, I messed up.
Another great Zenith Blade. Dodge the Q forced to dash away. Yeah, this is just the trouble of being behind when you're Samira. Really difficult to get in. I think we do have to point out, though, Luke, however you want to pronounce it, in a bit of trouble as Isurge getting the engage onto Fisher Noah. Eyesight is up there on the top side, forcing him to walk away. Thank you, directed camera, for not showing us, but it is going to be the flash burn from Fisher Noah. I did want to point out, though, Luke hasn't taken any of his buffs yet. He's just starting his red buff now. That early invade, meaning that he didn't get a leash, so his clear is a lot slower with not only no leash, but also the E start.
Oh, the E start, and no one helped him? Oh, that is just absolutely killer. Yeah, Zac definitely would need help if he doesn't have his unstable matter. Is that what it's called? The W?
Yes.
Yeah, so definitely should have had help from his team. I guess they kind of left him out to dry there. And it is interesting. Luke or Luke K? That is the question.
To Luke or to Luke, that is the question, whether it's nobler than mine, blah, 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 Shakespeare things. But anyway, he is going to be in a lot of trouble this game. Already 10 CS down in the jungle, about to get double scuttled by a Diana. Zlator looking for the aggression. I do really like how he's playing this Leona into Samira matchup. Just keep the pressure on as aggressively as possible. Nautilus doesn't really have a lot of that extra peel options. Can maybe land the auto attack to root the Leona, try to keep her away from Samira as much as possible, but a champion like Leona is going to make it very difficult for Samira to pilot this early game.
Yeah, I mean, after those series of nerfs, I know it's been over a period of time now as we have a trade on top side and mid. Nautilus is just not as tanky as he used to be, and Leona is kind of the only support that survived the tanky support massacre, being the only tank that has tons of defensive stats with her, I believe, the Eclipse, I forget what it's called.
Yeah,
maybe,
even the recent nerf onto it. Ooh, a great flash force from Luke, keeping Tall Guy in check.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
something that it was a benefit. I know. I'm just gonna cut this real quick.
oh,
Even
eyesight
though,
looking for the engage onto Luke. He does have access to the passive, so it doesn't look like he's going to be taking too much threat there.
yeah, I think Luke kind of lucked out. Ooh, do we have a kill topside? It doesn't look like he's gonna go for it. I think Luke lucked out with the slow clear, with Diana also being slow on the first clear as well. So he's actually not that far behind. But if it was a fast clearing jungle, I imagine this would have been potential deadly lead for the other jungler. So
Yeah, if this
bit
is a
of luck.
Xin Zhao, a Kha'Zix, a Trundle, someone who can invade the enemy jungle with fairly good frequency, Luke would be in a much worse position. But Diana did get double scuttle and does have a fairly large XP and CS lead, so we'll have to see how he can transition that into the mid and late game.
Yeah. On the other hand, though, now that Diana has a lot, easier first clear than normal, and it could potentially be getting ahead and getting an earlier power spike than expected. So that's the other side of it. So on one hand, Luke didn't get it punished as hard, but on the other hand, Diana now ahead more than expected.
Yeah, very difficult spot to be in. Although despite the bot lane going in the favor of red side, there is about a couple hundred gold lead for our blue side friends. It is going to be pretty calm early game. A good ward
Warded
spotting out Luke.
Amazing. I think looks like CB the Barbarian fully aware of Zach's ganking angles here, as that is a very good ward for catching that. And they're
he's
going
gonna
to catch
take
this
the
too.
blast
Luke
plant
is
over the
now
wall.
wiser. Yeah, he
Luke
knows
knows
now.
he's been spotted out.
He knows now. I think that for rivals, they are missing a potential gank opportunity in the mid lane, as Talek's guy on the Nico doesn't have flash, and that'd be a great start for Luke and Glisk to get a huge amount of damage down.
Yeah, in the meantime, otherwise, all across the map, we've got pretty even CS difference. Despite the early kill that they got in the bottom side, it is just fairly even between that Ezreal and the Smear, only a couple CS different. The mid lane, about the same, even with the Flash Force. Cassio just keeping a small lead. Luke looking for something. Good hook from the Barbarian. Teleport being channeled. I Surge, and an immediate response from Glisk as well. Pops the Stormbringer, gets the damage down onto Anime nonstop. A good stone form from Glisk is going to keep the Barbarian down, but in the meantime, Isurge is picking up the passive from Luke, but now he's all on his own on the backside of this fight. Anime nonstop able to kite that one out very effectively. A good cleanse from Dodge with Cupid. Now Zlator is going to be forced to flash away. Good pop loss from Tall Guy. A great root is going to force to flash away from Glisk. Now Luke looking for his way back into the fight. Doesn't have a minion to auto, so he doesn't get the pullback onto Samira. Samira might just be able to walk away from this one with just the loss of that cleanse.
And what a great response there from Goon Gang. I mean, they really got handed that though, because if we saw that whole time, Diana was farming on the top side eyesight there, just taking away camps from Zach. I don't think you want to commit to that without your jungler there. And this might lead right into a dragon. We'll see if eyesight can steal it.
Oh, Tall Guy gets the steal, and now Eyesight is looking for his way in. Picks up the immediate kill on Zlator. Now with no flash, but there's no response punish from this from Anime Nonstop or from Luke. Luke looking for the elastic slingshot, and now Anime Nonstop in trouble, forced under tower, but a good wave position means he's not going to be dove. Now we got to fight on the top side. Isurge looking for his way out of Fisher Noah. A good trade back means the health bars are just going to be traded a bit evenly, but a great steal from Tall Guy with that Nico Q, just grabbing that dragon at 1 HP.
Yeah, it was it at 1? I know it looked like sub 10 HP to me.
It was single digit. It looks like 1. I'm calling it a 1 HP steal. Great little skill shot from Tall Guy.
Oh man, for Goon Gang missing it just by that much must be painful there. That does suck. That does really suck, because that was by all rights their dragon. Eyesight was not in range, just barely out of range to get the jump in for stealing that dragon, but does pick up a kill importantly. So 1-0-1 on Diana with almost 2 times the CS lead here. That's actually a very good start.
Yeah, that's the advantage of her going to farm those Zac topside camps, as opposed to going to try and respond to the bot lane fight, but getting herself that bigger CS lead, and even picking up a kill in the back half of that dragon fight means the 2 stacks in the Dark Seal, that jungle clear only getting easier from here.
Yeah, I don't think they would have been in that position if they went so hard for that commit on the bottom side. Really didn't need to. They would have actually been out ahead if they didn't do that. Now, the dragon does save the day for them, so I guess we can say Talks Guy saving the day for that play. As we have engaged onto the Nautilus here, CB Barbarian, half health.
Zenith Blade onto CB, but he is a tanky Nautilus, so he's not in too much trouble. Good shield from Ice Surge means the trade back from Fisher Noah isn't going to be too big, but this is just a tank versus tank top lane, so we just got a couple of meatballs beating on each other. Nothing too exciting happening until we see those ultimate abilities get popped. So in the meantime, it's just going to be health bar trades, and the Rift Herald picked up by Luke in the meantime.
You think that Fisher Nora, with the ability to ignore CC, would be able to get out of the Storm Call there? But it looks like we have a gank coming in.
We have the junglers coming both on the top side. Good flash
in.
from Ice Surge to avoid it. A great Stormbreaker to come down. Diana fall for 2-man ulti. That's just going to be an immediate counter game picked up. Great job by Ice Surge for surviving for as long as he did, and good follow-up from Eyesight.
Yeah, I think we know who wins the 2v2 there, as that was very clear. Diana and the Storm Bear there have great wombo potential, and they just cleared house.
Yeah, it's the difficulty of having those two tanks into someone like Volibear and Diana. You both have to get really close to get on top of him, but that just puts you right in threat range of that Moonfall from Diana. Makes it really difficult to get any sort of consistent damage off.
I wonder what this Volibear... Oh, going for Divine Sunder, of course. But does it... Oh, just straight into Divine Sunder there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Right from
straight picking up the Divine Sunder. I think the tower plates that he got and the kills that he was able to pick up there, just allowing him to pick it up. He must have been sitting on a decent chunk of gold, because he also has the 2 cloth armors sitting in his inventory, probably looking to be built into that Bramble Vest.
Yeah.
Just get a bit of that anti-heal.
We'll see if Fisher Noah is going to expect that damage increase. Hopefully, Fisher Noah is hitting tab a lot, because that's a lot of extra damage in Volibear's kit. And Ice Surge is going to be doing a lot more % health damage and healing as well.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. Luke has managed to sneak in as Lazar looking for his way in. A great solar flare means that he's going to be able to pick up the 2-man stun. A good hook, dodge the Q on very low HP. Non-stop picking up the kill onto CB the Barbarian. Now Eyesight is here. He is spotted out. They know he's here, so it looks like they will be able to just walk away from him. In the meantime, we've got that trade on the top side. We're seeing the damage from that Divine Sunder of Fisher Noah. Forced to pop the ulti immediately to get away from him. And Ice Surge doesn't have access to that ultimate ability just yet. And it looks like it is just going to be the health bar trade. Oh, very sneaky play. Dodge the Q. Does barely dodge the Zac Elastic slingshot. Maybe put a little bit too close from Luke.
Dodge the Q going too hard.
Dodge the Q going a little bit too hard. A great moonfall from Diana, though. Anime non-stop forced to flash and heal away. Slatter also healing away as well. The Mastery Splash immediately. Anime non-stop barely surviving that. Managing to live there with a sliver of HP thanks to that early heal pop. And it looks like everybody is going to be able to walk away here. Wow.
That was close. That was close. So this is a little small gripe here. But as we can see, the top side of both teams are heavy indexed into magic damage here. Volibear probably the only one that is a little bit of hybrid of both. But if that's the case, if you know that your enemy jungler and mid laner / top laner do magic damage, I think you know what items you should build first.
Yeah, I do think hopefully we'll be seeing a lot of, for both teams, the Mercury Treads Index. The great Pop Blossom from Tall Guy means Blitzhex is going to be in trouble. And Eyesight, again, just able to pick up these kills across the map. This Diana is getting incredibly fed.
Yeah, and that was a lot of burst damage that maybe would have been mitigated with a little bit of MR, Brady.
Maybe just a little bit. We'll have to see.
I do think that, but, you know, in solo queue, this is something you should definitely be applying. If the jungler and your laner enemy have the same damage type, 100% build the defensive item. It will probably save your life more than you think.
Yeah, I think the issue for this Cassiopeia pick here... Oh, a teleport coming in from Ice Surge. We'll have to put that talk on hold. Depth charge coming in onto Anime non-stop. Good Stormbringer is going to split the team apart. Luke looking for his way back into the fight. Slador is looking for his way in. Looking for the Zenith Blade. Good re-engage. The down
Diana.
Fall, huge damage. Blitzhex is going to be able to pick up CB the Barbarian. Samira is firing those shots all across with the Inferno trigger. Now looking for her way in. Looking to restack the passive, but doesn't have access to it just yet. A triple kill for Blitzhex. Now Fisher Noah here, looking to defend his Cassio, looking to keep her alive as long as possible. Tall Guy looking for his way into this fight. Hasn't had access to that Pop Blossom just yet. Fisher Noah looking to keep him out of it. He's just going to be keeping up this dragon fight. Good damage from Tall Guy. Anime non-stop landing the poke. But now the dragon's coming in, helping the rivals, making sure that they health-wise are staying a bit in the lead. but with the extra health bar lead and the character
I think-
lead, it looks like it is just going to be the dragon given over to Goon Gang.
Yeah, no heroics from Tallux Sky this time, but you do have to wonder if he was there in that team fight. Surely would have been a win for rivals there, as they were so close to getting those final kills. And Dodge the Q going in. If that was with a Pop Blossom, that would have been a cleanup right there.
Yeah, Pop Blossom on top of that Inferno trigger would have been massive. He was really looking for his way in. I really liked what he was going for there, looking to get into the back line. Oh, Zenith Blade coming in, gets the Pop Blossom pop, but only the stun onto one, and a great elastic slingshot from Bouquet is just going to clean up that kill and give it over to Glissix.
Yep, and that's 3 members to commit to get that kill there, but no response on the other side just yet. No one in position to capitalize on that. And
Yeah, speaking of not indexing into Magic, David's Tall Guy has not had the ability to build that MR yet. I do, as we see that item pop up in the inventory, is Glissix going for Spirit Visage second item?
That would be interesting. I think that there is healing in the Cassiopeia kit, as well as having the Conquerors there. Maybe not a bad idea. There is a lot of magic damage on the field for this game, unusual amount.
Yeah, especially given that Cassio can't build the Mercury Treads. This is a really interesting idea, and I think it might just work out for him. He is already 6-1 of the Cassio. He's going to be pretty far ahead XP-wise and item-wise, so I think he might just have the ability to build that item.
You have to wonder if that's better than the Banshee build, though. And traditionally, you would have to say, with all these snares and CCs coming out, that you probably would want to index towards that.
Long-range CC with the Nautilus, with the Volley Bear.
Oh, guaranteed ultimate.
Looking for his way in, gets the root on top of Anime Nonstop. A great Solar Flare is going to keep Eyesight out of the fight for as long as possible, but still lands that 2-man Moonfall. Zlator now looking to try and walk away from this fight, but with no Aftershock and his W wearing off, it's just going to be a kill. Give it over to Dodge the Q.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Anime Nonstop, the flash was about 15 seconds on cooldown, give or take a bit there, and wasn't able to get out of the Moonfall damage. As we have a Rift Herald fight in response on the other side.
Tall Guy just looking to
Side
get a bit of
going for it,
extra poke. Luke looking for his way in, lands the elastic slingshot from across the screen. Tall Guy in a bit of trouble. Pops the Pop Blossom, gets the stun onto Luke, but good sidestep from Glissix means he's gonna be able to dodge it. But now Ice Surge and Ice Surge here, and it's just a blow up. This Diana is so fed. 10 stacks on the Dark Seal. Fisher Noah looking for anything to do here, but I think it is just gonna be the Rift Herald given over to Rivals.
Yeah, you would think that that would actually be a 3v2, but because of the positioning there and Fisher Noah being pushed up to the turret, was actually just a 2v2, and that ended in a win for Eyesight and Ice Surge there.
We also have to mention that was a large amount of shutdown gold on Glissix, now given over to Eyesight. That's not the person you want to have that gold.
I mean, look at this, 605, 700 gold bounty. This Diana is soaring ahead across everyone else. Dodge the Q in trouble.
Forward, Dodge the Q, a good dash in, does have the cleanse, uses it to get away from the Solar Flare. Now CB the Barbarian is here. The Infernal trigger is up, and he is firing those shots. The anti-heal wears off from the Ignite, and he gets in on top of Anime Nonstop. He gets the kill and is going to survive thanks to the lifesteal from Immortal Shield Bow. Misses his Q, but a CB the Barbarian has the depth charge, which means he is just going to be picked up. A double kill for the Q. Now Luke is in here. The Inferno trigger is back up again, but the immediate CC from Luke means it's going to be stopped. Dodge the Q is out of mana, but he does still have the lifesteal from the auto attacks, and the crits means he's going to survive. A triple kill for Dodge the Q.
Yeah, unfortunately for Luke there, if he had the ultimate, surely would have been a kill, but tried to make up for his teammates' mistakes there, and ends up giving a triple kill over here. So the damage dealers for Rivals really getting a good start.
Yeah, Samira, who was really struggling to find her way into this game, now suddenly 6-1-2 and is going to be able to pick up that Bloodthirster second item. I do think LDR might be better if you're going to be walking into a Mundo, a Zac, and a Leona, but the extra lifesteal, never going to hurt.
Yeah, and LDR would probably the ideal build in maybe 1 or 2 more items. I'm going to go with 1 more item is probably the best there. And yeah, I mean, if we look at the gold distribution for Rivals here, look at where the gold bounties are. I would have to say that's perfect. And you can tell they were giving over these kills intentionally to the right targets. So far, very good kill distribution for Rivals.
Yeah, CB the Barbarian doing a very good job of not taking any kills from his team so far. Tall Guy, even with the Dragon Steel, not taking any excess gold, just living off those assists and that farm. He knows that he doesn't have to be the big damage this game. He's just got to be that AoE Pop Blossom. Just make sure that it's going to be difficult for Goon Gang to get in here. Speaking of, Luke, a great elastic slingshot to knock CB the Barbarian out of the hook, but with the locket, he's just going to be able to walk away and survive. Now, positioning for this Infernal Dragon, we failed to mention, but it is an Infernal Rift again for this game.
Is Dog's Q going for a Bloodthirster? As we have a dragon coming up.
It looks like it's CB the Barbarian. Oh my god, Dodge the Q steals the dragon away! Now they're looking for their ink into the fight. The Solar Flare means the Dodge Q is going to be stopped. Anime non-stop picked up by the Pop Blossom, but in the meantime, on the bottom side of the fight, Dodge the Q is just running wild. Ice Surge, popping the Stormbreaker, getting onto Glissix. Fisher Noah teleporting onto the back, but I think it's going to be a little bit too late as his team is already dead. Glissix may be able to survive. Tall Guy has the flash, flashes over the wall, misses the root. A good sidestep from Glissix. That the Spear Visage allowing him to survive, but now he has the mana, and Ice Surge is going to be able to pick him up in the meantime. Fisher Noah, all on his lonesome on the backside. Eyesight and Dodge the Q, just able to bully him away. Looking for his way in, gets on top of Eyesight and Dodge the Q. Has the passive, but it doesn't matter. He's just going to be blown up before it even gets popped, and that's an ace for Rivals.
Yes, and Dodge Q blocking the Ezreal ultimate and getting the dragon at the same exact time there. So that is definitely a heroic play from Dodge Q there. But man, I think that Goon Gang really wanted to have a frontline tank for that fight, as their carries got jumped on in an instant there. Ice Surge and Ice Tide just going in, and no one was stopping them.
Yeah, Fisher, Noah, and Luke just not having the positioning, not having the gold or the experience for the items that they need. They're not tanky enough yet. And in the meantime, Dodge the Q and Eyesight have just been able to run over these team fights. But we also have to mention, Glissix not having that AP second item, not having that second item that's going to give him any more mana. He ran out of mana in that fight. He wasn't able to pick up the kill on Tall Guy at the end there. I think this is going to be really detrimental for him. I think the Spear Visage might not have been the pickup second item, maybe third, maybe even fourth. But I think this might just be a little bit too early to get it.
Yeah, when you have a machine gun mage, you need a mana pool to supply it. And unfortunately, just ran out of bullets there.
Yeah, without a blue buff, without the extra ammo.
Did survive to the end, but wasn't going to win them the fight.
Ice Surge looking for the engage on Glissix. He has the magic resist, but that Divine Sunderer is dealing extra physical damage. He's looking to teleport his way out, but that bite does so much damage before the teleport channels. He's going to be taken out.
Oh, this is a full AD Volibear. I'm looking at the build here.
Oh, yeah, he's looking for that Sterex Gauge second item. He wants to be dealing damage. We do have to mention that Rivals have not had positioning despite their gold lead. For both of the dragons that they've stolen, they have not had positioning on it. It has been two miracle steals by Tall Guy and Dodge the Q to make sure that the Goon Gang side is not on Soul Point. But speaking of, Dodge the Q may be in a little bit of trouble. He has the completed Bloodthirster, so he's got so much lifesteal. Moonfall is going to pick up 2, and Dodge the Q now going godlike into Legendary for the double kill.
Yeah, and now they're just getting taken apart. I mean, they really need to operate as a team here on the side of Goon Gang. They need to stick together. Frontline for Glisk here. I mean, honestly, 7-4-1 is the sole damage, but unfortunately didn't go for the full damage build. So maybe, definitely, you have to question it now. You have to, now that they're behind, you really need Glisk to pick up the damage, and went for a defensive item instead.
Yeah, maybe picking up that full completed Seraph's second item gives him that extra bit of mana that he needs. Maybe opting into either like a Banshees or even another item that would give him more AP. It may have been the better second choice, but he just doesn't have it. And for now, you just have to be wondering what could have been. I do really like the itemization from Dodge the Q. Getting that full completed Bloodthirster second item. There's no anti-heal on the side of Goon Gang, which means that Samira, with 2 lifesteal items, is just going to be able to sustain through any fight.
Yeah, and they haven't built any defensive stats either towards armor. They have, looks like the team's built a little bit MR, but now that Dodge the Q is online, well, now they don't have any defensive stats for the Samira as well. So put in a bit of a hard place. 2 damage types coming in, and you're only built for 1.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult to deal with the Samira. He's already got the Last Whisper inventory for when they start building the armor. It's going to be very difficult for them. The blue buff being given over to Anime Nonstop as opposed to Glissix. maybe a bit of a mistake. This Cassio is already struggling with mana issues, not having that completed Seraphs, and is looking to, I guess, finish anti-heal for a third item, delaying the Seraphs for a long time, which I think could be a mistake.
Yeah, actually, I do like the more defensive build coming out of Samir here. Your team's way ahead. Your team has plenty of damage. You don't really need any more. So getting a little bit more survivability with the damage is definitely going to help you survive, especially when you're going in there, getting the Infernal trigger off, as Volibear is going to be getting ganked
Oliver
here.
pushed up. The Ezreal True Shot Barrage does catch him out. Glisic is getting the damage onto him with no magic resist on Eye Search. He's just not taking any damage from a full stacked Conqueror Cassio. This is the main damage of the Goon Gang team, and he's just not being able to output enough.
Yep, and I think this, again, we're just pointing out the downfall of the Spirit Visage here. And this is something you can do when you're ahead. And, they were ahead at some point, but it's definitely a little bit of greed.
Yeah,
There's
I think
no
there were definitely other items that Cassio could have picked up. Demonic Embrace, Spirit. I
think Banshee's Bill.
Banshee's Bill, Demonic Embrace. There were options. Even Amarella's second item to deal with Samira and Volibear healing up so much. I just think there were better choices. It could be just results-based thinking. Maybe if Anime Nonstop gets a bit more fed in this game, maybe if Fisher Noah and Luke aren't so far behind, that Spirit Visage goes to better use. But it's just not the situation we're in this game, so we have to question that build.
I think maybe you wait for a third item. I think you could build a piece of it and then go to a different second item, right? We're not saying that this is a bad item necessarily, but finishing it now is what we're questioning here. And I think that's the key point. Why finish it now? You can get a little bit of MR and get a better damage item instead, right?
Yeah, especially since Cassio is the damage carry for this Goon Gang side. Eyesight and Dodge the Q, insanely fed on these hyper carries. It's going to be not easy to burst through this Cassio through the top side of Goon Gang. Mundo, Zac, and Cassio are all fairly tanky in their own respect, but with Samira now having that third completed item, Eyesight now sitting on that third completed item as well. No finished Magi's, but still 10 stacks on the Dark Seal. He's sitting on so much power. It's just going to be really difficult for Goon Gang to find their way back into this game.
Yeah, and with the Zonias, it's going to make it harder to solo this Diana out and get a kill right away, which is going to play right into Eyesight's favor here. So I think it's basically get the kill on the Samira, and Samira's got a lot of mobility, so going to be able to dip and dodge.
Yeah, I think something to highlight here is the lack of vision that Goon Gang has. They've got their wards in the pit, they've got some defensive wards in their jungle, but the rest of the map is just dark for them. They've got one ward on their bottom side. They're just really trying to get any vision of this Baron pit as possible. Eyesight looking for the engage.
Oh, deleted.
He's anime non-stop. Pops the zombies to make sure he stays safe. Tall guy looking for his way into the fight. A great pop blossom out of the back line. Slatchfire is now taking up as much damage as possible. Luke gets his passive popped and the kill is given over to Dodge Q. Legendary on the Samira. Blissik is looking for the damage in the fight. Slatchfire is immediately picked up as well. And now with the extra damage and the extra bodies on the map, it's just child's play for rivals to pick up the rest of this game. Fisher Noah stuck under tower. CB wanted to go for the dive, but his team saying, no, we're just going to pick up the Baron instead.
Yeah, I think that Goon Gang had no idea they were warded as Luke was charging up the Zac Elastic Slingshot there and then just gets instant engaged on. And, Anime Nonstop just absolutely deleted. He was not able to get any damage off in that fight. Maybe a stray Q poke here and there, but Diana just said, no, you're not allowed to play the game today. 8-0 and 13 is Eyesight on this Diana. Definitely not a champion you want to give him anytime soon. Oh my god, 234 CS versus 104. That's pretty rough. That's pretty rough. Just absolutely flame horizoned. And massive difference in the game. You do have to think what would happen if Zac didn't start with E or had his teammates help him clear, because it really set off a good start for this Diana and is leading to this extremely hard carry.
Yeah, this really is a game of what ifs for Goon Gang. What if Ezreal was a bit more fed? What if Zac had a better start? What if Cassio didn't have that completed Spirit Visage second item? There's so many things that could have been different this game, but that's just not the reality we're living in. So that's not what the game we're watching today.
That is true. Maybe in some other parallel dimension, things went differently, but not for ours here. And this is coming close to a 20k Go. Okay. Honestly, I don't think a game should ever get to 20K. Should be over by now. I think
Yeah,
Rivals maybe.
if the game hits 20K, I think Rivals they definitely have the power to end the game whenever they like. It's just a matter of how cleanly are they gonna make it? Are they gonna try and do this as clean as possible? Are they gonna take a couple of scrappy fights? Luke charging up that elastic slingshot, looking for his way in, gets the damage onto iSurge, gets the crowd control, but there's just no follow-up. None of his team can get through. iSurge now in return, pops the Stormbreaker to get into the fight. Glistic looking for his way in. The Moonfall just deletes the Luke the tank, and now Dodge the Q looking for his way into the fight. Getting that Inferno Trigger stacked up. The flash to make sure that he gets the hook onto Animate nonstop, and that's a clean ace for Riles, and that's just gonna be the game picked up for them. A triple kill for Dodge the Q to end this game out.
Yeah, and I think we have a perfect game. This might be the first perfect game of the stream here. Diana Eyesight coming out from Rivals 9-0-16, had a 700 gold bounty for like 15 minutes straight, as well as the Samir doing a very respectable 15-1-4. That was just a stomp of a game from Rivals. Had the money in the right places, had the early lead, an uninhibited Diana led to their victory here. I mean, if you look at the kill score, more kills than minutes on the clock here. Rivals, absolute great showing.
Yeah, a really great game from Rivals, despite the early roughness that Samira had in lane. Just was able to pick up them early in the mid and late game and just run over the game. A fantastic showing from Rivals, and I think they played it incredibly well.
Yeah, and just to point out, I don't even think it was Dodge the Q's fault of the early lane mishaps. You gotta wonder what was CB Barbarian doing, engaging as Dodge the Q, farming the minions. But again, I
I
think
think
once
maybe
they
just a bit of
cleared up,
miscommunication.
yeah, it has to be miscommunication because they played way better from that point out. I think that's what it was. So
But
just
otherwise,
a
yeah,
little bit of flame CB, just a little bit of flame CB, not too much.
it's a light roasting, but we are going to be taking ourselves into another quick transition before we get into our final game of the day, which, if I remember correctly, is going to be Spank Boys versus Mingos V2. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, everybody, and we are going to be streaming the third game of Week 2 Gold Cap by Get Wrecked here. We have Spank Boys versus Mingos V2. And to introduce the team members, What's Your Britty? You're on the stage.
All right, on the blue side, we have our Spank Boys, Swiggly Diggly in the top lane on the Renekton, the Alpha Kraka on Lee Sin in the jungle, Gif in the mid lane on that Kiana, Coco Mo Breezy on the Varus, and M Love on the Brandon support.
On the other side, on Mingos V2, we have Alien Boy 52 on Cho'Gath, Jibby Halpert on the Zen. I hope they're going to let me get this. Donkey Cheeks on Syndra, Ariana Grande. What's she doing here on the Zaya? And we have Volfe here on Nautilus as support. And I think What's Your Britty, you said Spank Boys wrong. I'm pretty sure you
Sorry,
did.
they are the Spank Boys. Gotta make sure that's correct. Speaking of Spank Boys, they did pick up the ward kill early. Ariana Grande, good spotting out of the invade, getting that early ward into the tri-bush. It did get killed, but it got the information they needed.
Yes, but also the XP. So we'll see if that leads to a kill on the top side there.
The XP was spread out over 5 people, so I don't know if it changes the XP timings of anybody in this game right now.
Oh, okay. That might. Well, we'll see if after the first wave, if Swiggly Diggly does ding level 2 here. Bot side start for both teams, so we might see some action at around the 3-minute mark on the top side.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are just starting fairly simple on the bottom side of the map, just getting that 2-man leash. The extra bit of health.
Love not even use a single ability.
Not a single ability. The greedy brand strategy. Just gotta make sure, one, you don't get that passive on the buff. You don't accidentally steal it from your jungler, and two, you gotta save those spells for the laning phase. You gotta make sure that you get that lane established dominance.
You have mana regen, Emla. You have mana regen, and it does % health, which is huge for a jungle camp. Okay,
well, Lee Sin gets a good enough clear anyway. He's going to be going straight from his red to his blue.
He's going for a quick gank. He's going to quick level 3 here. He's going to
but a great ward from Alien Boy 42. Look at that. He's already got a ward on the top side brush to spot that out if it does happen.
If Swiggly Diggly communicated that ward is there, shouldn't be a problem. We'll see. Just the other day, though, I was playing Trundle, and in fact, my blue buff was stolen by a Zyra plant. And that did suck. I really, really hurt. All right, let's see. Zen coming up now after doing Gromp. So they're both doing a quick level 3. Okay, now Lee Sin probably didn't like the lane positionings there. So a bit of a waste of that quick level 3 path.
Yeah, opting to full clear his top side. Maybe just looking to clear his top side camps and then start going into his bottom side. Look to try and get this poke lane of the Varus brand ahead as much as possible.
Yeah, if you were, I think that it's just better to do the full clear and then back and then come back down. I mean, I guess they didn't know that Zen started topside, which I think everyone should be trying to find out in the beginning of the game. As we saw in the game 1, it is a factor here, as we have a huge trade coming out from Renekton, getting the combo off.
Dodges the knockup as well. Cho'Gath just standing up with that passive, making sure he doesn't get too heavily into the threat range of Swiggly Diggly.
With the bottom prio, Lee Sin's going to get the bottom scuttle free of charge. And it looks like Zen might run into a crocodile.
In response, Jimmy the Halpert is going to be looking for that loop on the topside scuttle. But in the meantime, heavy trade from Gif. Good stun by M Love. The Ignite comes down. The brand passive pops. That extra auto attack might just be enough. The heal gets popped, so just to make sure that Volfe does not go down, is just going to be the summoners traded over Ignite for a heal.
Yes, and I think Ignite does have a lower cooldown, so they could look to make a play if they were thinking about that. As a lot of pokes going down onto this melee Nautilus, this is the support versus Enchanter, well, I guess in this case, Mage matchup here, and it is just taking a beating for the first few levels.
Yeah, Brand is a support in the same way like Vel'Koz is a support.
Yeah.
You've got a little bit of crowd control in there, but what you're really there for is the damage. These people like Brand, Xerath, Vel'Koz, they're all here just to make sure that the enemy team can't engage on the ADC for you. Just guarantee that they're too low health to walk forward.
Yeah, and I think we're going to remind you that Annie, once upon a time, was an amazing meta-tier support for the very same reason.
Yeah, Jimothy Halpert, Alien Boy taking a heavy damage trade, but Jimothy Halpert is up here, has access to the wind, becomes lightning. Good
Oh,
knock up.
okay.
Is going to be flashed away from by Squiggly Diggly, but in the meantime, Donkey Cheeks taking the back half of that trade. Flash traded for Ignite, looking very low there.
Yeah, so the auto camera really likes to keep you at the edge of the seat. Does he die? We don't know. Find out later.
Makes it a little bit more difficult to shoutcast, but you know what? It's just a little bit of extra adversity on top of the cast itself. Squiggly Diggly did lose his flash there. No summoners burned by Alien Boy or Jimothy Halpert. But yeah, we're seeing the power of that Renekton. Big damage trade. The Alpha looking to maybe get a counter gank off as his bot lane is hard pushed into the tower.
I feel like Alien Boy is kind of just face taking this damage, though. I don't think he has to take these. Could safely wait for the turret, be under turret to not get damaged. You know, big sword and crocodile in your face, not necessary for the lane. But the healing on the Cho'Gath passive really helping out for Alien Boy up on the top side.
Yeah, Cho'Gath passive, plus the Doran shield, plus those grass procs. It makes it a lot harder for Squiggly Diggly to get him into that threat kill range, especially without an Ignite. And especially now that he's flashless, he's got to be a little bit more respectful of the fact that Jimothy Halpert could be walking up there. Sends out a pretty aggressive ganking jungler.
Yeah, surprisingly, no mid ganks yet. And I think for Kiana Syndra, you know, these are early lane champions. You want to get them started early, but Jimothy Halpert going to take his early cryo lead to the dragon here. Now that is going to set him back some time. As soon as Spank Boys realizes they're doing the dragon, they can look for a play. We'll see what Lee Sin and the Alpha is going to do.
We'll have to see what ends up happening. At least just going to be just to get the smooth recall timing for their bottom lane. They did take advantage of the fact that Coco and M-Love did recall away from that bottom lane despite the pressure that they had. Pick themselves up the clean Infernal Dragon. In the meantime, the Alpha looking for something on Donkey Cheeks here. Knows that he has no flash. Gif has access to the Ice Q and the ulti, but it looks like no gank is available. The Alpha's just going to walk away.
I'm interested to see, is Lee Sin one camp away from level 6? Because really shouldn't have went for that. Sure probably got level 6, and that would be a guaranteed kill on the Syndra without flash there.
Yeah, we'll see once this camp is cleared. It is important to note that Lee Sin is opting what it looks like for the Eclipse Lee Sin, so maybe looking for a bit more assassin focus, maybe looking just to get a bit more of that burst in with the Vampiric Scepter first buy.
And that is the Rageless combo there from Renekton, so you can see significantly less damage and actually loses the trade.
Yeah,
Alien
it's a
Boy
really
evening
nice
it out.
long stun, but with the Bramble Vest already picked up by Alien Boy, it means it's going to be a lot more difficult for Renekton to take aggressive trades like that.
Yeah, and honestly, the clock was ticking, and as soon as I saw that Alien Boy has gotten level 6 first, we have a
Gift
possible guy
missing
here.
the first Q, misses the second Q. The side steps from Donkey Cheeks, not allowing either of those roots to come in. Gift just lost her fancy feet. Donkey Cheeks with the style.
Yeah, dancing on him. Absolutely outplays Gift there. And Gift, no flash, flashless.
Gift no flash. Now Swiggly still has no flash. Wind becomes lightning is dodged out. Great timing, but he is going to be knocked up. Pops the Dominus. He is silenced. Alien under tower. Forced to flash away. Wind becomes lightning going wide once again. Jimothy Halpert now in a little bit of trouble. It looks like they are just going to be able to walk away from there, just losing the flash on Alien Boy. But now he's in a bit of trouble as Alpha Boy is on the top side of the map.
Yeah, I think maybe Lee Sin comes up there if Alien Boy decides to stick around and not burn the teleport. Gift might be going in for kill. Misses yet again.
Loses the discreetest talent, and now is getting stunned up. Donkey Cheeks procs that phase rush, takes the damage from the rock Q in the back half of that trade. There is something to note here in the mid lane. There is a massive CS gap in Gift's favor, so I think he's maybe looking to just be a bit more aggressive with these trades and take advantage of the gold difference that he has.
Yeah, that might be the scenario. The teleport burned by Cho'Gath.
Clean boy. Swiggly Diggly still has no flash, has no dominance. The knockups, and the damage, and it's eaten by Alien Boy for first blood.
Yes, didn't respect the TP on a possible deep ward there. Oh, Donkey Cheeks possibly in a bad position here. Lee Sin does have the flash. Could have gone a flash kick. I think he should have went for it.
Yeah, missing the Q means he's not going to be able to, not looking to go under tower. But yeah, Donkey Cheeks putting on the fancy footwork without phase rush active and without even tier 1 boots, dodging so many skill shots from the blue side of Spank Boys.
Spank Boys. Yeah, I think he's got him phased. He's got him phased. Donkey Cheeks has got Gift phased right now. Oh, however, 20 CS down is not insignificant though. So we'll see maybe if Gift can make a play. Maybe not on Donkey Cheeks. Maybe Donkey Cheeks got his number for now, but could look certainly towards the bottom side.
Oh, he stepped out of the bush. Timothy Halpert saw him, but he's looking for the re-engage. Pops the Crescent Guard. He's not taking any damage from Emlove right now. A good stun is going to allow Timothy Halpert to walk out of there, just losing his flash.
Yeah, and importantly here, when the jungler takes damage, he just goes back in the jungle, uses smite, heals up. When a laner takes damage, it's not as easy to get that HP back.
Yeah, without the Vampire Accepted of the rest of the top side is building, GIF is going to be forced to recall, which means that CS gap is going to get a little bit smaller. Looks like he might be opting either for the Prowler's Claw or the Duskblade first item. We see Renekton opting to go for the Blade of the Ruined King first item. Not something that we see very often from these fighter top laners anymore. Much more opting into the Goredrinker Sterax style of build, but I think Bork is going to have a lot of value into Cho'Gath, who really loves that HP stack.
Yeah, this is definitely a 1v1 build, so looks like Swiggly Diggly opting for the split push over the more bruiser team fight build. I wonder if that's going to work out, though, because Cho'Gath is a very, very good scaler as well. And once that HP comes in, it does give him extra damage as well. Looks like we have a fight for a Skull Crab on bottom side. Multiple members coming down.
Grande dodging out the stun, but he is still going to take that full brand combo. Uses his ulti to deny the bounce. Donkey Cheeks grabbing the great stun onto Gift, but Gift gets the stun back onto Timothy Halpert, but he is just deleted by the Unleashed power. And Love looking for some kind of follow-up here. Gets the passive proc onto Voltfi. Alpha taking the depth charge. Coco looking to get aggressive onto Ariana Grande, knows that he doesn't have his ulti available, but just flashes forward, not really getting anything out of it. No ulti, no Q execute available for him. So Ariana Grande is going to be able to walk out of there, keep both of their summoners. It looks like it is just going to be a trade of health bars and losing GIF across the map.
That was a fight on two fronts for Spank Boys there, but it does result in nothing happening. Just a kill on GIF early in that fight. But yeah, a bit confusing. I wonder what the comms were like. Maybe both sides calling for an engage.
Yeah, maybe just a bit of miscommunication. Gold lead.
Breezy throughout the ultimate there, so you have to wonder if it did hit Ariana Grande. Couldn't see because it was out of the screen.
Yeah, we do have to notice that neither of the teams opted to pick up the dragon after that fight. Neither team really having full control over the dragon pit there, so neither team opting to look for it. The Alpha looking maybe to punish Timothy Halpert. They have vision of him. He is on a ward. Lands the Sonic Wave, gets the Resonating Strike in, but Timothy Halpert looking for the re-engage. Alpha taking so much damage on the back half of that trade. Forced to W away and get a good bit of poke back onto Timothy Halpert, but we can really see who won that damage trade.
Yeah, you gotta wonder, what was the plan there? What was the plan, Stan? I wonder.
Maybe it's just trying to take advantage of that lethality, but Timothy Halpert really smart, opting into those plated steel caps first item before he finishes up his Goredrinker. Makes him a lot tankier and a lot more difficult to deal with. As we do see, Spank Boys have opted for 3 lethality users and Renekton, so a big majority of their damage is going to be physical damage. Brand really the only one bringing out that magic damage.
Okay,
Alpha lands the Sonic Wave, gets the The kick is so delayed, it allows Donkey Cheeks to get the flash away himself. He's going to be able to walk out of there just fine. Swiggly Diggly popping the Dominus, looking for the damage onto Alien Boy. A good knockup means the Alien Boy is just going to be able to walk away. Plus the thumbs up. Just your reaction, you're really cool. I'm just going to walk away.
Yeah, definitely have to go for a gift.
Chin looks for the burst. The Unleashed power comes through, but with the tower shot, even it's not going to be enough. He's going to be able to walk away. Now, Timothy Halpert looking for revenge for his mid laner. Good display of talent means he is going to be able to walk away. Ariana Grande dodging the Sonic Wave. No extra damage coming through there.
Interesting that GIF got the kill without the supreme display of talent there. So has more than enough damage to take out the Syndra and more.
Yeah, with that Electrocute plus that double Q, it means it's going to be very difficult for Syndra without any armor builds right now to survive. I think it is a little greedy from Syndra to not opt either into a Seeker's Arm Guard or even the plated steel caps, really valuing the extra magic pen that she's going to be able to have. And it might just be a mistake that cost her life there.
Yeah, it looks like my advice from earlier does apply to this game as well as the Kiana Lee Sin. Both do physical damage, and I think a Arm Guard rush would be the play to go. So my advice extends throughout multiple games here.
I do really like the fact that GIF, noticing that there's not a ton of armor being built by his lane opponent in Donkey Cheeks, has opted to rush that Prowler's Claw first, really take advantage of the extra lethality that that item is going to give. Though with the amount of armor that his team has, it might not scale as well into the late game.
I think as Kiana, you're looking for the mid game plays anyway. Lots of weak opponents minus the Cho'Gath to get that ultimate on. If there's another dragon fight coming up in 4 minutes here, look for Gift to make a huge play. I think that's what's going to be the key to their, to getting their victory here. Oh,
he
Gift
gets
getting caught out.
Cook onto him, gets the knockup from the death charge as well. Gift gets the Prowler's Claw off, is looking for the burst. Donkey Cheek surviving with a sliver of HP, and now M-Love is caught out of position as well. A double kill for Wolfie. Not exactly who you want the gold to get onto. But now they're looking, Spank Boys are looking for their way back into the fight. Alpha and Swiggly looking for their way in the flash forward from Swiggly. A great hook from Wolfie means he's going to be delayed. Alpha picks up the shutdown onto Wolfie, extra bit of gold into his pocket. Gets the kick onto Donkey as well. And now Swiggly gets picked up on the backside. Alpha looking for the team fight here. Loses the 1v1 into Jimothy Halpert. The extra damage reduction for the Steel Caps getting him the win. Now Coco may be in a bit of trouble. Alien Boy on top of him. Doesn't have flash just yet and gets eaten up by Cho'Gath. 2-0-1 up for him.
Yeah, I think a bit of trouble was an understatement there, Brittany. He was in some serious trouble as most of his team, his front line was gone, and it was just him versus a Cho'Gath. That's not some situation you want to be in. And notably, Gift didn't have the ultimate there. I think that would have been a massive 3-man ultimate if that was up in time.
Yeah, just using it defensively earlier on. Didn't have the cooldown available just yet, so they didn't end up taking the team fight win there. I do really like the aggressiveness from Wolfie there, getting the flash in to make sure that Gift gets taken down. And I do, again, really like that Gift was really looking to trade back there. Gets the Prowler's Claw off onto Donkey Cheeks.
It was
looks for some kind of trade back. Donkey Cheeks just surviving with a sliver of HP, even with no armor.
I do have to say, with the dragon coming up soon, you have to wonder. I mean, I guess for a support, the flash with Hex Flash doesn't matter too much. But for everyone else who burned a summoner in that fight, you're not going to have it up for this dragon. And I think that's a pivotal moment in this game coming up here. I think whoever is going to get that is going to solidify a solid, a good lead for the rest of the game. It's all on this next dragon fight, if you ask me.
Yeah, if the Mingos are able to start picking up these dragons. The Rift Herald fight maybe getting started up. Alpha looking for the Sonic Wave Resonating Strike, but Wolfie is here. Gets the Death Charge onto him. Shutdown Gold given over to Jimothy Halpert. Wolfie has just been all over the map in this game, styling on the Spank Boys.
Yeah, Alpha didn't have his ultimate there. It was a few seconds off, so probably jumping the gun. And his teammate wasn't there to back him up either. So, again, I think they aren't playing around the vision that they have. And they went in a little too early. We have a Rift Herald fight with a member down. 3 versus 5.
Coming through, just landing onto Wolfie. He is going to get blown up. Now Giff in a little bit of trouble. Gets the Prowler's Claw onto Donkey Cheeks, looking to get away. In the meantime, Alien Boy, Swiggly Diggly fighting on the top side of the map. Knockup landing onto M-Love. Has the flash, doesn't get over the wall, but gets into the bush and saved. Now Swiggly Diggly in trouble. Cinder lands that stun combo. It is going to be taken out. Dark Harvest procs onto Alien Boy. M-Love doesn't have the fancy feet. Gets the dodge away from the Windpin's Lightning and is going to walk away there. Now Jimothy Halpert looking to get back onto that Rift Herald. In the meantime, Ariana Grande and Coco and Breezy trading on the bottom side. The heal burned from Coco and the flash burn, but it's not going to be enough, and Ariana Grande is just going to take that solo kill.
Yeah, didn't even have to burn the ultimate there, so a clear victory. 2-0-3 against the 0-2-0. Kokomo Breezy definitely a leg down in the AD carry fight right now.
If looking for the trade back as the Electrocute proc puts the Ignite down, but with the Phase Rush, Donkey Cheeks just so hard to hit with these Kiana skill shots. I do like that he's opted in for the Magic Resist boots, get that extra bit of tenacity. Oh, gets the flash forward. Now picks up the kill with the Sonic Wave, stealing the kill away from his mid laner. Classic jungler maneuver.
I guess he is an alpha, but probably should have let that kill go over to Gift here. Oh, going in on the
goes for resonating strike onto Cho'Gath. Gets the W away, so he doesn't get knocked up. Make sure the Rift Herald gets that charge in and takes that tower. First tower of the game now, post almost 20 minutes, just getting into the Spank Boys pockets.
All right, here is that pivotal dragon fight talking about, and Kiana's not there. She's late. That's a lot of damage, a lot of burst that's out of the team right now. Maybe Bingo doesn't know that Kiana's not in position yet. They haven't started it up.
Yeah, if the Spank Boys can delay for as long as possible to allow Gift to get into position, Donkey Cheeks is teleported into the fight. Mingos now have the 5-man position. They have the vision control. They looks like they are going to starting up the dragon. Alpha sneaking into the pit. The Mingos know he's there. Up. Kick onto Wolfie, landing onto 3, and that's the team fight engage. Now that Gift has gotten here, the Spring Display talent landing onto so many Swiggly Diggly. finding a trade on the backside. Double kill given over to him. Jimothy Halpert maybe in a little bit of trouble. Looks to get the Gore Drinker heal, but it's not going to be enough. And Mingos get destroyed in that fight. Spank Boys pick up their second dragon of the game.
Spank Boys winning that pivotal fight that I was talking about there. And GIF, the hero play, sacrificing his life for his team there, gets a huge supreme display of talent ultimate. I think stunning every member that was alive there, doing huge amounts of damage. Mingo's really grouping up in the pit there was their downfall, and this looks like it might be leading to a Baron. That's a huge swing.
A fantastic setup from Alpha as well, landing that Dragon's Rage onto 3 members and setting them up for that supreme display of talent. Really well coordinated and really well played by the members of Spank Boys. Swiggly Diggly a little bit low, able to take up the Baron just enough to get away with 5 Baron buffs, also getting it onto Gift there, respawning in time.
Yeah, and I have to give some credit to Spank Boys. I think they knew that they had to stall and wait for GIF, their main point of burst damage there. And they were able to get that, and GIF made it just perfectly in time for the engage as well. So I think Spank Boys understanding exactly how they're supposed to win this game right now.
Yeah,
and
that's a super well played from the Spank Boys. They now have a 3K gold lead in their pockets. The Baron buff there as well. Now, we've got a couple minutes until the next objective, and it really seems like Spank Boys are looking to make these teamfights happen around the objective.
Yeah, I think that their next objective should be that top tower. It's the last one standing. It should be free gold with positioning, the waves properly. And with their 3K gold, you should be able to get Prio to make a play topside there. And they have quite a good diving team. We'll see if Alien Boy makes that.
Alien Boy burning his flash. Has the flash kick. There he is. Alpha lands it. The knockup landing onto Alpha as well. Alien Boy doesn't have the eat right now, so it looks like he is just going to be walked down by the Spank Boys. Jimothy Halpert looking for some way to get into this, but now with the Dominus being popped, I don't think he's got any chance of getting into this fight.
Yeah, Cho'Gath is a tanky boy, but apparently not tanky enough, as the Blade of the Rune King, Swiggly Diggly, and the Alpha taking him down. They're going to be getting mid-turret as well, looks like, but they're getting flanked on.
Oh, Ariana Grande lands the root onto Kokomo. Ariana Grande getting the burst down as well, and it is just going to be 2 kills given over back to the Mingos.
Yeah, that is definitely a mistake on the side of Spank Boys there. You are not safe in the mid lane, especially when you don't see the rest of the 4 members up. GIF was pushing down turret on the side anyway, so no reason to force for that mid. I know it looked really juicy, that gold that's sitting right there, right in front of you, but it baited you into your doom.
Yeah, the second tier mid tower, not worth a huge amount of gold, maybe not worth giving up your life for. They didn't have the vision on the rivals, not rivals, sorry, I'm a game behind.
Against
on the
Mingos
players, so they were able to get picked up there. Good little response play from Mingos trying to get themselves back into the game, but in the meantime, GIF burst onto Ariana Grande. Maybe a bit of a spectator bug as he didn't get knocked up into the stump, but he is still going to get blown up. But Jimothy Halpert is going to be able to pick up the return kill. I would love to see a replay on that, because it looked like Ariana Grande just didn't get moved by the Kiana ulti.
Yeah, did the damage go through either? I don't remember seeing that.
It looked like he was stunned, so I'm going to assume that was a spectator bug. He did get the flash and the heal off, but he still died anyway. Good burst from GIF, but a good response from Jimothy Halpert to get the return kill.
Yes. Yeah, so I think the death mid lane leads to the death on GIF as he tries to get the kill on Ariana Grande. But again, if they didn't die mid lane, they would have just had these turrets for free. No fights required.
Wolfie maybe in a bit of trouble. Pops the aftershock onto the Alpha. Has to flash away anyway, but he does end up saving his own life, so I think that's fine. Meanwhile, time Swiggly Diggly looking for the trades onto Alien Boy. But even with the Blade of the Rune King, the damage just does not look very large from him right now.
I think it's a bit deceptive. I think you're never going to burst out of Cho'Gath like that, but I think that this, with the current state of the Renekton versus the Cho'Gath, I think he wins the top lane instead of a position where he would normally lose against this Cho'Gath. So he's winning. I think that's what matters right now. Obviously won't be as tanky in the team fights, but enough to get the push. And that's going to help them get Renekton to this dragon before the Cho'Gath and set up a dragon chain, it looks like here.
Yeah, there are 30 seconds left on that dragon spawn. Spank Boys have the gold lead right now. The Baron buff has worn off. Mingos do have access to both their teleports, but their AC is down on both summoner spells, which means it's really risky for him to walk up into this Renekton and into this Kiana with any sort of safety.
Yeah,
It
I'd
looks
like
like
to
the
see a lot
Spank boys
more.
are looking for some kind of setup here. The two wards have spotted them out because the sweeper was popped, but they didn't have vision in the bush. So it looks like they are going to be spotted out on that play, but they may just look for a second one.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see a lot more pink wards coming up from Spank Boys. They could have warded that jungle up, and it would be dead vision for Mingos there. But it looks like they're going to pick up the next dragon. A
Oh,
single
great screen display of talent onto Jimothy Halpert. The dragon is picked up, but now Gif is just in a wrong spot at the wrong time. Looks like Mingos are looking to start the fight. Ariana Grande on the backside, picking up 2 kills there already, looking to get a third onto Kokomo. Alpha is on super low. Donkey G's picking him up. Swiggly Diggly now alone. A triple kill for Ariana Grande on the flank, somehow getting positioning into the back line of the Spank Boys. And that is an 8
Oh, no.
Mingos V2.
All right, so that's probably going to lead to a gold swing to their side once these turrets fall down. Probably going to get 2, maybe 3, depending how much damage they can get down these turrets here. And that was an absolute throw. GIF going in there. Team decided to go for a team fight, even though GIF only hits 1 member. You already have the dragon. You don't really need to fight for anything. Should have disengaged, and they're going to be losing 3 turrets off the back of that.
Yeah, you've got the dragon, you've got your soul point. Now M-Love caught out by that Cinder Stun means he's just going to get deleted. And I think it's really good that Mingos are not taking the inhib right now. They may not have been able to just because of the respawns, but this early in the game, I don't think they're going to be ending within the next 5 minutes, just given the gold disparity that they just closed up. So I think not giving access to those extra bit of gold and experience coming from the inhib kill, good call from them.
Yeah, I think that, as we can see from that fight there, it is vital that GIF gets multiple squishing members, significantly like Syndra and Zaya in the back line, as that's their one ticket to winning these team fights. When GIF doesn't get it, you can see the dramatic difference. But yeah, just going for that fight in general was a huge mistake on their part. However,
Yeah.
it's not over for them. They do have, it looks like the gold is now even. They have more dragons, so if they can set up a nice fight at the next dragon, that should be a victory cinched for them. But now it's anyone's game right now.
Yeah, the gold now perfectly even, but Mingos have a bit of a hill to climb. They're going to have to contest every dragon from this point. And we saw the combo earlier between the Alpha and GIF. They were able to combo that Dragon's Rage into the screen display of talent and get the stun on everybody. But it looks like Mingos are being a bit more careful about their positioning now that they've seen it. So while it's still going to be an uphill battle, I think Mingos are now in the momentum and have that driver's seat.
Well, they do have an exposed inhibitor for Mingos here, so they can always threaten the inhib as a response to getting an objective. So they do have an answer if Spank Boys goes too far for an objective. They could cost them an inhibitor and possibly the game.
Yeah, I think the issue is for Spank Boys, if they're able to pick up the Ocean Soul, I think that's 100% worth losing an objective or losing an inhibitor for. M-Love now in a bit of trouble, caught out by Wolfie. Wolfie picks up the kill, but loses his life in return for that brand passive. M-Love dealing a lot of damage to the rest of the team, even after he dies. But Wolfie just being an absolute monster in this game. Alpha looking for the pick onto Ariana Grande. Doesn't have access to the kick. There it goes. The screen display of talent does blow him up. Now GIF is on top of the alien boy. In the meantime, on the bottom side, there's also trade Ariana Grande going aggressively into the enemy team and taking advantage of the little bit of lifesteal he does have. Alpha pops that stopwatch and pops the stopwatch in return to get away from GIF. Second stopwatch uses his flash to get away, but I think he is just going to be blown up by a GIF. That's an ace for the Spank Boys, and now suddenly the gold lead has gone back in their favor as Swiggly Diggly is able to get the split push on the bottom side.
I mean, he was there the entire time. Didn't even think about teleporting, so man on a mission here to get that turret down. And interesting to see that GIF was able to actually get a kill on the Cho'Gath there. Very surprising, something you wouldn't expect, Assassin taking out a tank like that. But
yeah,
it looks
with
like
the build that he's gone for.
Yeah, I know, with the lethality too as well. But it looks like the mistake that Mingos made there was trying to engage into M-Love in that choke point there. And I know that M-Love dive and did get caught out, but was able to lay down a lot of significant damage. And then the Alpha burning Zaya ultimate early on was actually huge. Zaya really needs to save that for something big and to save her life in the fight. And that being burned early just meant that Alpha was able to pick up the kill later and on the fight.
Yeah, if Ariana is able to use that ulti to get away from something like a Brand ult or a Varus ult, or even just to dodge the knockup from the Lee Sin ult as well, he can really start positioning himself better in these fights. And after seeing those those offensive tools get used, he can position a bit more aggressively, but until that point, he's an immobile ADC, and now has no summoner spells. As we get prepped for this dragon in 15 seconds, takes the blue away, making sure that doesn't go into the hands of Kokomo. Jimothy Halper maybe in a bit of trouble. The CC combo's landing onto him. He does have access to the GA, so as that gets popped, he's going to be still alive. Wolfie gets here. Ariana Grande getting the CC onto Gift. The Supreme Display talent is going to 3 members. Big damage coming out from him. And I think with that kill onto Ariana Grande and onto Wolfie, that is just going to be the dragon almost guaranteed for Spank Boys. Or maybe they just look to end the game as Love is looking to get the damage on top of Jimothy Halper and Donkey Cheeks, delay their recalls for as long as possible. But instead, they've opted to get 2 inhibitors. I think maybe just opting for the Ocean Dragon might have been better instead, but they are going to be able to pick up 2 after Love sacrifices his life to delay the recalls as long as possible. They get 2 inhibitors, they walk out, and now they have priority on this Ocean Dragon and look to get themselves the Ocean Soul.
If you, in my opinion, if you have the option to get inhib versus an objective like this, where you have an option of 2 and you can choose, always take the inhibs and fall back to an objective like Dragon here. The enemy team doesn't have enough time to return, and they're just going to get both with no problems. They have the Dragon Soul here through Triple Ocean. Honestly, not the best for their team, but it is still going to make it so something like Gift can 1v1 the Cho'Gath, right? So Gift doesn't normally have healing in the kit, but now has significant amounts of healing and has lots of AD to provide lots of healing power. So it's going to be hard for Alien Boy to take down any targets as well as Wolfie. And they're really going to have to rely on the burst from Ariana and Donkey Cheeks to kill their opponents now. So Mingos really have to get their burst in order to get kills.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to get that burst, though, because I think these teams would have loved to have traded those primary dragons. I think Mingos would have loved a Mountain Dragon for their Cho'Gath, their Xin Zhao, and their Nautilus. And the Spank Boys would have loved an Infernal Dragon for all the damage they've got. But they have the opposite dragons, which means Spank Boys having that Ocean Dragon is just going to be very difficult to blow them up. Ariana Grande taking a big burst of damage. Kokomo looking for the flash in, but Ariana Grande gets a good timing on the ulti. A great double knockout from Alien Boy means Kokomo is super low, but now with the Ocean Dragon sustained, he's not going to be able to live through it. Alien Boy getting the blow up onto GIF as well means he's not able to land the Supreme Display of talent in the fight. Now Swiggly Diggly trying to use that Ocean Dragon to sustain himself through this fight. Wolfie landing another huge hook onto Love means he is going to be picked out. And now suddenly Glacial Mingos, even through Ocean Soul, are in the driver's seat of this game. Alien Boy trying to get a recall off to get rid of those super minions in the base. But now it's all on the Alpha to try and get this Baron Seal, or even just to give it up and get back to his base.
I was about to say right before that fight started, right before Brittany, excellent play-by-play, is Spank Boys really shouldn't be trying to fight there. Lee Sin going for a hero play isn't going to get it.
It is going to be the Baron secured by Ariana, and now Alpha's on the run. Jimothy Halper lands that win, becomes lightning. Even with the Ocean Soul, I think Alpha is going to be able to be picked up here. Has no flash. But he does have the GA. Now they're being a tower dive, but I think they're just wasting a little bit of time and need to walk away from this one.
Yeah, they should have backed early. I mean, who cares? It's just one kill on Lee Sin anyway. But I think Spank Boys made a huge mistake there. Shouldn't have went for the fight. They had the side push of the Renekton, who had teleport, so they could have just stalled that out. When you have double inhib down like this, all you have to do is wait for the enemy team to go back to defend their base. Instead, opt in for a team fight, and they lose it on top of that. So, big mistake coming out from Spank Boys. When they do something good, I'll refer back to their real name.
Yeah, I think the Spank Boys definitely could have played that a little bit better. A bit of a coin flip, but if they had won that fight, if they had won that 50-50 coin toss, that's just the end of the game, because the Mingos did have those 2 inhibs down and the waves pushing into their base. It was very lucky for the Mingos that they did win that fight, because otherwise that's just the end of the game.
Yeah, for Mingos, that's life or death right there. For Spank Boys, you were gonna win the game, and then you decided to coin flip for it anyway. So, questionable decision making on their side. But for Mingos, very excellent. They get the Baron. They're back in the game again, as I think that the Baron's gonna make it a lot easier for Spank Boys to close out the game. Now they do have double inhibs down, so theoretically they can close anyway. They are going to
Baron with minions up. It's going to be a lot more difficult to push in. At the top of the day, I was really hoping for some exciting League of Legends today, and I think barely cresting a 1,500 gold lead at 35 minutes with over a kill a minute. This is some exciting League of Legends.
This is the closest game by far all day. I mean, no one had a significant swing. I think the biggest was 4K. So Very close game overall here, and a lot of gold swings.
Yeah, and it looks like the Spank Boys just trying to abuse the power of this Ocean Soul, just taking the advantage of the health bars that they have and getting away from the Mingos. Trying to
Huge
take away as much
knockup.
gold as possible. Huge knockup and stun. Love at almost a third HP. Timothy Halpert maybe looking to pick him up. Wind Comes Lightning does not land. Looks like the Mingos are trying to find any way to engage into this fight before the Ocean Soul regen can tick. But it looks like they're just not able to find it. The defensive tools still there for the Spank Boys.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to be looking at Elder now, as both teams don't have a way to close out the game. Baron buff is strong, but doesn't beat two inhibs here. And maybe someone's getting called out right now.
Timothy Halpert on a ward going in onto Coco. Does get the Crescent Guard, but Kokomo with the Ocean Soul is so tanky. The screen display of talent finds 3. The GA pops from Timothy Halpert. Ariana Grande flashing forward again, looking for the burst onto Kokomo, but with the Ocean Soul and the healing, he is going to be able to get away. But in the meantime, that is 2 kills taken away from Spank Boys. Wolfie maybe a bit too far forward. Gets bursted out by the brand combo, and he's going to be taken out. But it's still a 1 for 2 in favor of the Mingos through that Ocean Soul.
Yeah, and you have to wonder why you didn't just coordinate your backs. Why would you have to take such a scattered back like that? People not respecting the ability of Mingos to engage on you, especially when they see members backing right in front of the minions there. Why wouldn't you take a fight? That's like your golden opportunity presenting itself to you right before an Elder Dragon. I would think that they should be able to get better positioning now. It doesn't
but now
look
we're
like
seeing
they're ready yet, though.
we're starting to see the trouble of taking those early inhibitors, because that has been so much golden experience funneled into the Mingos base. And with the Spank Boys not being able to end the game, all that golden XP has been funneled into Ariana Grande, into Donkey Cheeks, into Alien Boy. Alien Boy now level 18, a level ahead of Swiggly Diggly, who's been split pushing all day. Ariana Grande having a level lead, Donkey Cheeks having a 2-level lead. It's starting to look really bad for the Spank Boys.
Yeah, it is starting to turn away from their favor, and it's honestly just their decision making right now. M Love trying to set up a little cheeky bush kill here. They know about GIF.
They see
Unfortunately,
GIF,
Syndra
he
not
spotted
there
out
to
on
set
a
up
ward.
stun.
I really like the fact that Ariana Grande has opted into the Guardian Angel here, has that Wrath Pot sitting in inventory, knows that this Elder fight is going to be so pivotal for his team. And I have to give the advantage to the Mingos. They have the Cho'Gath there to just smite it away before Lee Sin or even the Xin Zhao can get away from it. Wolfie taking a lot of burst. The Corrupting Arrow does land. Knock up onto Alpha. Wolfie getting super low, dodging the poke. Swiggly Diggly looking for his way in. A great Crescent Guard to protect Wolfie. And this Serena's Way of Talent is going to land onto Alien Boy, now taking the brunt of the burst. But he's so tanky on this Cho'Gath with the Stoneplate Pop. He's taking no damage. Timothy Halpert now looking for his way in. And Donkey Cheeks has entered the fight. Alien Boy still alive through this entire fight. And now Swiggly Diggly taking the brunt of the damage. Ariana Grande getting the big burst of damage onto him, even through the Ocean Soul. They're not able to sustain it enough. A double kill given over to Timothy Halpert, only losing Wolfie in the process. Now the Alpha is the only surviving member once again, as the Mingos V2 take the Elder Dragon and possibly look to end the game.
Wow, I don't think you see a fight like that very often, as the Alpha might be going down here. Wanted to possibly pick up the Elder Dragon Steel, but it doesn't look like he's going to get it, and sacrifice his life on top of that.
Doesn't have the GA this time. A good stun from Syndra, and the Elder Dragon proc means it's an ace for the Mingos V2. I don't know if they have the ability to end the game just yet. The respawn timers are just short enough that I don't think the Mingos can end the game right now, but that Elder Dragon means the next fight that they take should be a game ender.
Yeah, and they have Baron coming up, so they can just transition over that. If Spank Boys try to fight for Baron, they have the Elder to win, and if they don't, then they get the free Dragon and push into their enemy team, push in the base with the Elder, get kills if they try to fight, or get objectives if they don't. But man, I don't know if you saw that, but Mingos had Spank Boys completely surrounded on every side there. Not something you see very often, just completely surrounded and enveloped. And they just lose the fight heavily right after that point.
Yeah, the Mingos have been really fantastic with their positioning throughout this entire game. Ariana Grande and Donkey Cheeks somehow, as the Squishies, have been able to find flank paths onto the Spank Boys and just make sure their backlines are not allowed to play the game. Super well done from them.
Yeah, I wonder what caused Kokomo Breezy to be in the face of Alien Boy as I was watching the Ariana Grande, the Alpha fight and the backside. Maybe I should be paying attention more to the front end of that fight, but Yeah, they just got
I
flanked
think
on all
Kokomo was
sides.
forced to walk into Alien Boy as he was less threatening than Donkey Cheeks was. If Kokomo walks into Syndra, he gets one shot. But if he walks into Alien Boy and Alien Boy doesn't have the feast, the devour, he's not able to absolutely one-shot Kokomo, so he can survive for just a little bit longer.
They're gonna try to throw the poke down. I wonder how much left on this Elder Dragon. Probably not that much time. The buff maybe about 75 to 50% done, but I think they're gonna get this inhibitor.
Yeah, Elder Dragon does not last very long, but you know what does? The Baron buff. They still have a long time on that one, so they are going to be able to take this inhib, and with just the pure beef that is this Alien Boy Cho'Gath, they may just look to end the game. He's got his Gargoyle Stone Plate back up. He's nearly full build, about a half of an item away.
For the win.
Wolfie looking for the hook, doesn't land.
Deleted.
Amlov just deleted by the Elder Dragon. That buff staying on for a little bit longer. First Nexus Tower goes down. Wolfie gets the depth charge onto 2. Procs Aftershock. With a double kill over to Donkey Cheeks, Ariana Grande picking up one on Kokomo. Now it's just Alpha and Swiggly Diggly left, diving into the Nexus Fountain, trying to get any kills left, but that is just going to be the win, picked up by the Mingos V2. Super well done from them. An exciting game overall.
Oh man, once that Elder Dragon comes in, it is a game changer, just wiping the floor with Spank Boys there. And man, you really have to wonder what would happen if they didn't mess up the macro in that mid game. Surely it would have been their win. The game was in their hands, and they took a lot of unnecessary fights. I think a couple VOD reviews, though, I mean, they played the comp out very well up until that point, and I think these mistakes are fixable for Spank Boys, so that is the good side. But being as that may, this is the dimension where they made the mistakes, and Mingos will be taking that win handily.
Yeah, that was definitely a very back and forth game, our longest game of today. No team really had, I think, full control of the game until that like 30+ minute mark where Mingos really started to get into their own. The flanks from Ariana Grande and from Donkey Cheeks this game, and just the pure beef of Alien Boy. And I would be remiss if we did not talk about Wolfie's hooks this game, just landing so many clutch ones, the death charges onto multiple members of the Spank Boys, not allowing them to play the game that they wanted to play. Super well played from the Mingos side.
Yeah, and you know, for Spank Boys, I really liked the way that they played out the mid game there. Well, at least the first half of it. They played out perfectly. They waited for Gift. They had the positioning on the dragon fight. Then they got the clean ace. And to me, that's where the game should have really ended. That should have been their win from that point on. And this is the over aggression in the mid to late game stages, taking fights where that they didn't need to. I mean, Swiggly Diggly on the side with teleport, 2 inhibs down. Did you know, like 90% of the time, if you have 2 inhibs, you should be winning the game, especially in competitive where you can coordinate with your teammates here. Really should have been Spank Boys' win, but Mingos just stealing it from under them.
Just wasn't the game today. The theme of our games today, as I think today, has just been what ifs, a lot of series of what ifs, but that is going to be our final game for today. Thank you for joining me today, Crims. I think we have both had a very exciting time casting this series out. I do really appreciate you all being here and the audience as well. Thank you for joining us for this 3 games of the Get Wrecked Gold Capped series. Hopefully we'll see you again next time.
Good cast today. I hope you guys come back next time.